It was an ordinary day at Joe's Burger Joint, a small but bustling fast food restaurant in the heart of downtown America. The air was filled with the savoury aroma of sizzling patties and crispy fries, and the chatter of customers created a lively hum. Employees in their standard uniforms moved swiftly behind the counter, attending to orders and juggling tasks. Among them, a new hire stood out, not because he was particularly fast or skilled, but because he was unusually clumsy for someone working in such a high-paced environment. This new hire was none other than Donald Trump. The 45th President of the United States had decided to undertake an unusual experiment, disguise himself as a regular fast food worker to understand firsthand the challenges faced by ordinary Americans. Armed with a wig, a cap pulled low over his forehead and a fake moustache, he was almost unrecognizable. The billionaire-turned-politician was ready to trade boardrooms for burger buns, if only for a day. The first day on the job. When Trump first arrived at the restaurant, the staff didn't know what to make of him. Introduced by the manager as Don, the new guy seemed eager, yet out of place. His uniform didn't fit quite right, and his demeanour carried an air of confidence that seemed mismatched with the typical nervousness of a first-day employee. Assigned to the grill, Trump struggled to keep up with the fast-paced demands. He fumbled with the spatula, flipped burgers too soon, and occasionally forgot to add cheese. Customers waiting for their meals grew impatient as orders took longer than usual. "Hey, newbie, we've got a line out the door," barked a fellow employee. Trump nodded, muttering, "I'm working on it," under his breath. Despite the initial setbacks, Trump persisted. He knew he wasn't just there to flip burgers, he was there to learn. Between taking orders and cleaning tables, he listened carefully to his co-workers' stories. Many of them were juggling multiple jobs, struggling to make ends meet, or supporting families on minimum wage. The unexpected encounter, the turning point of the day, came during the lunch rush. A young woman, visibly stressed, approached the counter. She hesitated before placing her order, rummaging through her purse and counting loose change. Trump, now stationed at the register, watched as she nervously apologized for the delay. "I'll have a cheeseburger and small fries," she finally said, handing over a few crumpled bills. Trump noticed she was short by $1. Without hesitation, he reached into his own pocket and covered the difference. "Don't worry about it," he said, handing her the receipt with a warm smile. The woman's eyes welled up with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. This small act of kindness didn't go unnoticed. Other customers in line, initially annoyed by the delay, softened as they witnessed the exchange. For Trump, it was a moment of connection, one that reaffirmed his belief in the importance of compassion, no matter the scale. Revealing the true identity. The day progressed, with its share of mishaps and successes. Trump gained a new appreciation for the grueling nature of fast food work, from the relentless heat of the grill to the constant pressure to keep customers happy. By the end of his shift issue, he was sweaty, exhausted, and more determined than ever to make a difference. As the restaurant began to quiet down, the manager gathered the staff for a routine end-of-day meeting. Standing among them, Trump decided it was time to reveal his true identity. "Before we wrap up, I have something to say," he began, removing his cap and wig. The room fell silent as the staff stared in disbelief. "I'm Donald Trump," he said. "I came here today to see what it's like to work hard on the front lines, just like all of you do every day. And let me tell you, I've learned a lot." Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Some employees were skeptical, thinking it was a prank, while others stood wide-eyed, realizing they'd been working alongside one of the most famous figures in the world. The ripple effect. Trump's revelation quickly made headlines. News outlets and social media platforms buzzed with the story of the former president donning a fast food uniform and immersing himself in the lives of everyday Americans. While opinions about the stunt varied, one thing was clear. It sparked a national conversation about the realities of low-wage work. In the days that followed, Trump used his platform to advocate for policies aimed at supporting low-income workers. He proposed initiatives to increase access to affordable health care, provide job training programs, and incentivize businesses to offer better wages and working conditions. "I've always believed in the American worker," Trump said during a press conference addressing his experience. But spending a day in their shoes opened my eyes to just how hard they work and how much they deserve our support. A lasting impression. For the employees at Joe's Burger Joint, the experience was unforgettable. They'd shared a shift with a man who, despite his wealth and status, was willing to roll up his sleeves and join them in the trenches. "I never thought I'd see Donald Trump flipping burgers," one employee said with a laugh, "but he earned my respect that day." For Trump, the experiment was more than a publicity stunt. It was a chance to reconnect with the people he'd always claimed to represent. And for those who watched the story unfold, it served as a reminder that understanding another person's experience often requires stepping into their world, even if just for a moment. As Trump left the restaurant that evening, he looked back at the glowing sign of Joe's Burger Joint. It wasn't the White House or the boardroom of a skyscraper, but it was a place of learning, growth, and connection, a place where for one day he'd discovered the power of humility and hard work.